Coming up on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show.
All of a sudden, the loudest bang on a drum you could imagine. Boom!
Somewhere around 52, 53 million.
Kathy knows what she's doing. She's got this very hunky man carrying me everywhere. I think that that's a new way of doing real estate.
Did Paris have any thoughts about you joining the show?
No, I didn't tell her. I kept it a secret.
It was a coat of many colors this season. Oh, and I didn't mean to say coat. I don't know what's going on in here, but I'm gonna bring you your coat.
Yeah, well, you said it. Your Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show starts now.
At Crystal's Chinese New Year party, Sutton tries to clear the air with Erika one more time.
Erika, I do think if we're going to talk about sweeping under the rug and starting a new year right, if we can both find a place to do that, I would be very happy. I don't want any ill will between us going into this Chinese New Year. I really don't.
I don't think that, the air was super clear.
Why is everyone so quiet?
I was gonna say, anyone got in the
We're all looking at you to see what you say. What do you say back? Anything at all?
I have nothing to say.
Okay.
When you are living through something that's very toxic and it's very intense, and you are with your group of friends, and it becomes a topic of conversation each and every time you're together.
You feel like it's a dream sometimes? You wake up and you're like, oh God, it wasn't a dream.
Yeah, I wake up and I go, this is really happening.
There's sometimes moments where you just don't really want to overshare. I think that, it probably gets to a point where Erika is trying to share as much as she can. Her hands are tied behind her back to some degree because I'm sure her legal team is, telling her that she can't talk about certain things.
I think she's also probably exhausted from it's like being center of attention, and she wants to talk about something else.
I would love a one-on-one with you.
At the right time. I just need a minute.
I know that you
I
do.
need it.
I do, and I need to be able to trust you too. Do you know what I mean?
Let's just have a kind of a nice, normal, peaceful conversation. Doesn't need to go so dark in kind of a light space. So yeah, I think that's what it was.
Given everything Erika and Sutton have gone through this season...
You be quiet, all right, Miss Small Town? I'm so worried about my motherfucking reputation. You shut up. Go ahead, Crystal. I'll go head on with you all day. Shut the up.
I'm just telling you how I felt.
Right, I don't care.
Do you think that in the future, Sutton and Erika can become close friends again?
I think that even though Sutton had made the remarks she made...
She's already lied once. That's a red flag for me. Was she lied to y'all because she said that he had broke his ankle? There is an untruth.
And had her doubts and all of that.
I think that we have heard stories that, to me, don't add up.
She also does have compassion for Erika and the situation. I know that she does. She has shared that with me. So I think that they absolutely can repair that. We're all still learning what's going on, even now, with what's happening in that lawsuit. Erika's still in the thick of it, but I think they for sure, one day can come together, for sure.
I believe anything's possible. I think if two people want to mend a friendship, then you certainly can. But that's really up to them.
There was definitely softening and more understanding. And I think that there's always potential.
What I find with these women, and I really admire it, is that they'll have an issue.
Jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants?
No.
And then they discuss it, they talk about it, and they know how to put it behind them.
Oh, no, we're not inviting.
And I think that's a great lesson. So I do think that they will. At least I hope so.
As your second season comes to an end, what are your hopes for the future with this friend group?
I know what I would like to see. I mean,
genuinely, obviously, getting closer and trust. Trust is a big deal, and I think I'd like to see, or I'd like to feel more trust within the group.
I think for me, it would be nice to, for me personally, sometimes I'm not taken super seriously because I am a bit goofy and they all like to say I'm quirky, but I have a very serious, sensitive side. We all know that I'm sensitive, but I'm sensitive to others as well. So I would like for that to be discovered a bit more. And I'd like to say this about Garcelle. I would really like to see that relationship between the ladies and Garcelle get stronger and better, because obviously I love Garcelle with all my heart and we have so much fun together, but we don't just have fun together. We have very deep, meaningful conversations. And I want to see them have that with her because she's such a special person. And I just, well, I mean it. And
Thank you.
You
And
know, I want to
receive
jump
it.
into a joke.
I receive
there,
it.
but-
No, I really receive
but
that.
I
That's
really do, and I
beautiful.
want to see that really come in. And I think that the two of us can be a bit of, we're a bit outside, and I want to see both of us, I think, maybe pulled in more so that we can all be closer.
That would be
Because
beautiful.
we've been through a lot this season.
I'll go head on with you all day. You have a lot of nerve.
Don't talk to me like that.
Or what?
Seriously.
Or what?
I thought last season was crazy.
If that's what we were I'm stopped. Bravo, bravo, bravo. I am not doing this, you guys.
Not in the mental stabilization way, but like it was a lot last season. This season, woo!
Because of COVID and
Yeah, it was a coat of many colors this season, to say the least.
yeah.
And I didn't mean to say coat.
I don't know what's going on in here, but I'm gonna bring you your coat.
Oh, I didn't even
mean
catch that. Normally, I
didn't-
would have been quicker. I can't
know.
believe you said that too.
I didn't mean that. That's not what I meant though. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, you said it.
Yeah. It's a coat of many colors.
This is your first season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but the Hiltons are no strangers to reality TV. Did Paris give you any advice or have any thoughts about you joining the show?
No, I didn't tell her. I didn't say anything to her. Absolutely not.
Oh, fine. Okay.
I kept it a secret.
How did they find out, and when did they find out?
And they'd heard little rumblings, but they didn't believe it. And then a friend of theirs called and said, it's been confirmed your mother is on that show.
That show.
So I'm like, God, how do I avoid them?
Well, they were calling me and saying, what are all these rumors? And I was like,
I
We
don't
have a
know.
bad connection over here.
My phone's not working.
Well, no, I had said, well, no, I would love her to do that, but, then I didn't realize I didn't really know everything. So then I was just like trying to, I was scared too. No one wants to deal with the wrath of Nicky.
No.
Outfit is awful, bye. Your outfit's awful, bye. She hung up on you.
Bye. And what do they think now that you've been on the show?
I have not had a discussion with Paris yet because she's been traveling. She sent me a couple memes with laughing emojis. Nicky, we've had one conversation and I had to ask her, so like, what did you think? And she said, I think it's cute. I think it's fun, period.
They'll also just send me memes and, now all the things that we've always laughed about with, regarding Kathy and things that she does, now it's sort of like a lot of the people now get to see what we've been seeing all along. So it's kind of funny to us. The other day when you borrowed Rick's iPad and, you were talking to some bloggers and you were commenting, you said, hi, it's Kathy on Rick's iPad. And then
I know, I don't want them thinking it's him.
Well, that's why Nicky and I were laughing. So, they're sending me these things back and forth and we're just cracking up because that's such, typical Kathy. But now everyone's getting a peek in to see what we see.
Garcelle, can we get any more details about Keith? Keith with the abs?
Ready?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Wow, he's hot.
How'd the date go?
Who's Keith, Garcelle? Who's Keith?
That's how it went.
I wanted to get to know you on a regular basis, so I'm...
Are you nervous?
No, I don't think so. What I'm trying to say is...
Why don't you, I guess you can...
Do you think we can do that?
I
That would
think
be
so,
great.
yeah.
It's my first time with a tailgate date.
No, this is really nice. I'm happy to meet you.
Yeah.
Keith was a nice guy. The dating coach that I had hired was a matchmaker, thought about Keith, and he was a client, so they fixed us up. And we were supposed to have a lovely date at the park, and then the one day in LA, in California, that it rained like cats and dogs. So we actually tailgated, and he brought sushi. So I sat in my car in the back, and he sat in his car, and he was a nice guy. No love connection, but he was nice. The sushi was great.
So the sushi was the highlight of the day?
That sounds terrible.
But not the abs?
I didn't see the abs. He was dressed. He was dressed. I didn't see the abs, but in the photo, the abs were on and popping. Let me tell you that. Yeah, he was a nice guy. There was just no love connection. I didn't feel any chemistry.
And are you still using the same dating coach?
No, you know what? I've given up on all that. I'm just doing me, and whatever happens, happens. I'm super busy, so whatever.
Sutton, you go over to Kathy's to check out her new house flipping project.
Yeah. What does she not do?
So this is like a new construction.
Brand
You're
new.
not redoing anything.
Ground up. Yep. We're about 18,000 square feet.
5 bedrooms up here.
Gorgeous.
I'm just curious what the price range is.
Somewhere around 52, 53 million.
I don't think I've ever felt so poor in my life.
That's a lot of house.
I was feeling pretty poor that day.
I've done 3 or 4 homes, and my husband has been very happy, and I've had success with that. This one happened to be a large one, the biggest one I've ever done, and it will be ready to go on the market in about 3 weeks. It's taken 3.5 years, so I'm glad to finally be getting it on the market.
Look, Kathy knows what she's doing. This house is amazing. It's like 50,000 square feet or something. And I'm in a boot. I'm like, really, Kathy? It's like walking through the Louvre. Except for there's no art. And then she's got this very hunky man carrying me everywhere, which I did not mind at all. Yes, it was very nice. I think that that's a new way of doing real estate, is to have a hunky man just carry you through.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Me too. I was definitely there for it. Trust me.
What's your favorite part of flipping these homes?
I would say putting the jewelry on the home. Once you start to put the shutters and the moldings and the door handles, I get very annoyed with the little things like, how many centimeters do you want this to attach to this, to the ceiling? And do you want a square hook? I mean, I'm like, that I can't deal with. I just like the bigger picture things. And staging it, I'm working with my designer, and we're staging it right now. So I want to have a party and have everybody see it.
So Crystal's Chinese New Year party started off with a bang.
I will never forget, we didn't really have a forewarning of like the music that was about to come on. There was nothing like, everybody, can you please turn to, the stage up. All of a sudden, the loudest bang on a drum you could ever possibly imagine. Boom! That I swear, and I'm one of those that jumps, I'm one of those that screams when I jump, when I get nervous. I let out a scream that was like, someone was just about to attack us. I mean, and I know a few of the other women did.
Oh, I saw Kyle was across from me, and I think Kyle almost fell out of her chair.
Yeah, I screamed so loud. I grabbed my husband. I screamed so loud. And then, but it was just this incredible music, which was so fun.
It's almost like we got to take a trip to China.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds stupid, but because we hadn't gotten to take a trip out of California. So this kind of moved us into this kind of fantasy, beautiful land. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was really special. And to meet her mother was really nice. And her mother's new husband. I really loved that because, you know, my mom really struggled for a long time with even like thinking about dating. So I think it's great that her mother really kind of got herself together and moved on and found love. I think that's so important for widows. So I really enjoyed meeting her mother.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night.
What are your biggest takeaways this season?
Is that going to bother y'all? Can you tell him to stop?
I can't hear anything.
Okay. No, I think I had to learn the art of listening. And it was a tough lesson to learn because I do tend to get very like quick in my pronouncements.
I really don't see color. I don't see race. I don't do it.
But also to not be guided by others and to trust my instinct on what I want to say and when I want to say it and how I want to say it. Because it's a lot of strong women and they like to push me a little bit.
You need to say what happened on Saturday night.
I'm saying
like
it right
if
now.
she walked through the door, you said,
That's
I
right.
would tell her
I'm doing it
exactly.
right. And now I'm like, I've got this. You know, like,
I thought this season was interesting for everybody. I think, especially for me, I feel like I heard some of the things that were said. Like I took it in, is for lack of a better word.
I personally didn't know what to expect, but what I took away from it was how grateful I was to be able to spend time with Kyle and new friends and old friends and to be a part of a very dynamic group of ladies and learning so much about others and myself and working on my relationship with Kyle. And it helped to pass the time through going through the pandemic, quite honestly.
So people say, how did you get your sister to join the show? She said it'll help me pass the time during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Crystal, we see you throw an incredible Chinese New Year party.
Wow, a real party.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Look at this. Gosh, this is so stunning.
So I hope you guys enjoy tonight, and I really wish all of you an incredible year of the Ox. So thank you for coming.
What inspired you to host it?
Well, the girls have been so open to me as a person and my culture.
I did it! I did a dumpling!
Yay!
Now what?
It's fun to share food that you know is sort of foreign to someone that's local. Like everyone has their culture food. So what's seemingly very simple to me, I know is not to other people.
I've never had duck, honestly.
Oh, really?
I can't hold it with the chopstick.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Well, enjoy.
I need shorter chopsticks. Can I eat this with my finger or not?
Yes,
I mean,
I've decided to eat my duck with whatever.
I just love to share all of that. And the girls are always very excited to see it and open. And, you know, when you get that reception, you feel even more excited to show the next more. It just felt like the perfect thing to host. And it was so surprising that no one had been to a Chinese New Year party, you know, because for me, it's just my every year holiday. But it's so meaningful to me and my family because it's not just one day, it's 2 weeks, it's 14 days. So
Wow.
we really celebrate it. And so this was sort of the culmination of it to share with everyone. And I wanted a space that really felt authentic and traditional. It feels actually like you're kind of on a movie, like a Chinese movie set. Normally I would have done something much bigger, but I really wanted to make sure I had some vendors that showed, you know, Chinese artisans
I love that you're so proud of where you come from, and you're proud to show us, you know, and for us to be able to experience some of your culture. I mean, it's exciting because it's different and it's fun. It's fun to learn about new cultures.
Thank you.